and Pavel opens up Big Hunter. I had no idea what Pavel was going to open up because, I mean, he's Pavel. You never know.
Yeah, you never know with him. And it looks like, oh my goodness. I will say though, HotMEOWTH doing study on the deck list. I'm not sure if there's a deadly shot in Pavel's.
Oh man,
Big
look
Hunter.
at Edwin's hand.
But look at these hands.
They're both insane. What's Pavel just messaged? What's up, Dr. Kappa Pride?
Let's stop. Stop. Seriously, stop. Stop. Let them play. What are you doing?
Pavel, please. Pavel, please. Play your game.
It's funny as I'm spectating HotMEOWTH, so it didn't even get to me. I didn't see what he said. All right. So one thing going for Pavel right here is he has Barnes as his opening hand. One thing going for HotMEOWTH here is he has Prince Shadowstep Edwin coin in his hand. So which one's more powerful? The insanely big Edwin, the Edwin for Edwin, or the Barnes for Pavel?
Man, it depends what the Barnes pulls. If it pulls the Savannah High main or the Hunter Legendary guy, I think that'll be really good, but I also think Pavel plays things like probably King Crush or just awkward targets. I'm not 100% sure though, but if he does, then that could be bad for him. Now this is a really interesting decision that Pavel actually had to make in a previous series that I was watching him play, where he actually chose to not Shadow Step the Kaliseth there, and it died, and he lost a lot of tempo.
Lost a lot of tempo because of it?
Yes. But here, the reason to do that is to get... It's super greedy. Basically, you just get an extra spell for your Van Cleef.
Oh, he tracking, and now the Yasarj is going to get burned. So that's one less card off of Barnes that's really good. I mean, of course, there's still Katharina Winterwisp, and there's also Hymain, but Yasarj was one of those great cards you wanted to get. And I will go back to the Shadow Step and the Prince. Another reason why that was so good here is because he picked up a 1-drop. He picked up the deckhand. He doesn't mind coining out this deckhand for the reason it's going to summon a 3/3 patches, and he gets the Edwin Van Cleef.
Yeah, I mean, 3/3 charging patches, 8/8 Van Cleef on turn 3. How is... I mean, Pavel has an answer in Hunter's Mark, but now he's not playing Barnes.
Yeah.
So, like, he's just going to be playing catch-up for a long time.
Yeah, he's going to be playing catch-up, and that's one thing that this Rogue deck aims to do, especially in this select matchup, is make the opponent play catch-up. And what's really good here is he can take...
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He doesn't even have to trade. I wouldn't trade. I would just play the Creeper, play the Captain, go face. Let's go.
I would consider trading to play around Kill Command. Just for the reason that Kill Command can clean up the Captain. But I definitely agree with the sentiment that going face is good.
Why wasn't Corridor Creeper played?
So he can combo with the either the Vilespine or Elven Minstrel.
Okay.
I was thinking last turn, a potential line of play could be to take the value trade, play the Corridor Creeper for free, and then tempo out an Elven Minstrel and draw 2 cards. I think once the Captain was drawn, Edwin realized, hey, look, I can just push a lot of damage here, so I can still do that play, but on a future turn. I would have liked to seen it maybe considered, but I think the reason why HotMEOWTH went for the line of holding on to this Corridor Creeper was for the reason that he can have that Vilespine for reassurance next turn.
Now here, I mean, Pavel can play Barnes and try to high roll, but he's facing down a lot of pressure. He might just have to be forced to react again, and if that happens, I mean, I feel like if you're playing catch-up the whole game, you're eventually just taking this 3 damage from patches over and over again. You're just gonna die.
Man, the question is, what are you hoping to high roll into? Yasaraj is gone. Or Yasarj. They're both gone.
Wait, they're the same card.
I know, that's my point.
You're ridiculous. I don't know. I guess he got the Katharina Winterwisp, but that's so slow. You might just be dead.
Yeah, and being dead is bad. Being dead is really bad. That means you lose.
I've been there before. I know it's bad.
Okay, so it looks like he's going for the Vilespine play, or potentially just putting a lot of pressure. Okay, Elven Minstrel. I like this play.
He's looking for a 1-drop, maybe a Swashbuckler.
Oh, he didn't get the 1-drop, but still just drawing 2 minions from your deck in this kind of situation is just insane. Now, the Winterwisp, I believe, is guaranteed to summon either King Crush or Savannah Highmane. I was going to say it was guaranteed to summon Savannah Highmane, but I forgot at the moment that Pavel does run a King Crush.
Mm-hmm.
And King Crush is a big boy. How much damage, if Pavel got King Crush, could he actually do this turn?
If you got King Crush, he can do 10, 15, 15.
With
he can do
Animal
7,
Companion.
he could do. Depends what he gets. Okay, so.
Ooh.
Looks like Pavel's not gonna bother trying to go face.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try and fight for the board here.
Going face is always bad if you don't have lethal there, by the way. So he obviously did the math. We didn't do that yet.
And he didn't get the King Crush, so it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, he's doing a really nice job of cleaning up this board. And it's interesting to me that Edwin decided to go with a 3/2 Elven Minstrel as opposed to the Serenite Chain Gang, which is 2 4/5s. That just seems so much better when you're just trying to pressure your opponent out of the game.
Yeah, and maybe that's something with inexperience in this matchup, right? I mean, I don't know how many people have experience in the big hunter matchup. So maybe Edwin thinking, oh, I needed cards here, when in reality, he just wanted to keep putting the pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, if he had done that last turn, Pavel would be at, what, 11 health or something, and then you could just develop stronger minions.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe it just doesn't matter. Maybe Bone Mare comes off the top and gets played onto the Elven Minstrel.
How much damage is this?
It's
a lot.
Or you do it on that one. 8, 9,
a lot
11,
of damage.
12. So your opponent is not dead, but I mean.
But if they can't taunt, and then you can just dagger, play the 1-drop, and SI7.
I mean, there's no outs, I don't think, for Pavel here.
I think there is Animal Companion into Misha, but then you still don't answer the board. So yeah, I think this is just gonna be game, and I think that's one of the weaknesses of this big hunter, is the reason that a lot of players are bringing Rogue, and it's just I don't know. I don't know about this big hunter. What do you think, Ray?
I think it does fine against Rogue, honestly. The fact it was just that Edwin had such a good start that Pavel couldn't answer it. He had Barnes in his opening hand, which is obviously insane, but since Edwin had such a high amount of damage on the board, he couldn't even Barnes on turn 4 because he would just be taking too much damage, and that's crazy. Turn 4, you're taking too much damage to not be able to play Barnes. Like, that blows my mind.
I thought Barnes could only be played on turn 4.
Me too, but apparently not. If you're gonna die, it's better to just kill command a minion.
I don't know, I like Barnes.
Look at this again! Edwin's so good! And Pavel has Barnes too!
This is just ridiculous.
This is how you know these are the best players in the world.
Well, it's looking like it is great hands from both of these opponents, so it's going to be a very interesting game. HotMEOWTH even picking up the 1-drop to go with this 2 into Captain, and this is just ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And I like Pavel holding on to the Kobold Librarian, realizing that he may need an activator for this Defile. And Pavel just emoting, saying, well played. Pavel understands that HotMEOWTH is a good player here with the Prince on 2.
I mean, you have to respect the optimal lines of play from HotMEOWTH here. But if he was really good, that would have been a shadow step and not a backstab.
That is true. Can we also comment? I would just like to comment on this for flavor reason. HotMEOWTH has a golden Edwin Van Cleef, and his name is Edwin.
Okay.
So I think there's some synergy with that.
There is, but I want to talk about that in a second. This Pavel holding onto the Cobalt Librarian was huge because it activated this Defile, which cleared the board. Now Pavel's definitely in the game.
Oh, and the Quarter Creeper draw just a turn too late. That boy would have been 4 mana this turn. Or no, it actually would have been, like, how many minions died last turn? 5? 5, right?
5,
so it would have been
yeah.
2 mana. That's, oh my gosh, that's a cheap creeper.
Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers, that was a cheap Corridor Creeper. So I think he's just gonna go ahead and Barnes this turn. I don't see merit to much else. Barnes can be really punished though if something like I'm trying to think of the minions. If the second Kobold Librarian gets picked off of it. It doesn't look like Pavel is playing the cube version because I don't believe the cube version would ever play Barnes. But I mean, there's some good draws. There's Lackey. There's Void Lord. I think those are the 2 biggest ones. We did see Lich King, so even Lich King can just get him a card that might be useful in this situation. I don't see any other potential line of play he could go for. You can't really clear the board anyway. There is the Coin Lackey, but then you kind of want to save the coin for your Siphon Soul next turn, just in case your opponent does play something crazy. You don't want to tap because then you're just dying. So I definitely think it's going to be either Coin Lackey or Barnes. And looks like Pavel's going to opt to say, you know what, I need this guaranteed demon next turn, so I'm not going to take the risk with Barnes.
Yeah. And this is an interesting decision point for Edwin. He could go face and then try to backstab the Lackey this turn and get the activation on SI, perhaps. But I don't know about that.
That's really rough.
I think anything you do is awkward here.
I agree. I think anything you do is awkward. There's no way you're getting through the Void Lord that efficiently. So it's going to be interesting to see what Edwin opts to go with here.
That's if the Void Lord is the only option.
That is true. I would think it would be the only option, especially with running cards like Barnes. Because you definitely know it's not the Q variant at the point. I think Edwin's just going to go for the game plan of burning out the opponent. And I think I kind of agree with that. You can't really answer what comes off of this Possessed Lackey. And it's going to be interesting to see if Pavel decides to go with playing the Barnes first to try and get that 1/1 copy and then trying to pull it out, or what he decides to go with. Whoa. That's very interesting to me.
What in the world was that tap?
Maybe.
He feels
Is there
confident.
another demon he plays and he felt like he needed to tap to try and pull the other demon?
Maybe, but
That was my thought process behind it.
he might just feel comfortable at this life total, honestly. And
Oh, and that is a good pickup for HotMEOWTH. Gonna allow him
yeah.
to draw 2 minions.
there once was a man from Gilneas.
I have no comment for that.
I mean, I'm just explaining to you that there was a man from Gilneas. There's really not
I
much
believe
else
the
to-
audience heard the voice line for Elven Minstrel.
Yeah, I know I said it.
I don't think they needed your emphasis, Racy.
No, I said it.
I apologize, chat, for Racy's very... there's an Azoth in this deck.
Wow. All
This
right.
is a very, very heavy Warlock. Not only is it the double Lackey version with Barnes, but it runs Lich King and Azoth.
Pavel is a greedy person when it comes to his decks. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I would have thought about that for a minute. I mean, that probably ends up being the right play. But I would have thought
Hold
about
the
it.
presses. Hold the presses,
I would have still thought about it.
Mr. HotMEOWTH. The real thing is, Pavel is 1 turn away from Twisting Nether. And this is a lot of pressure. Now, there may be some kind of defile setup. I'm sure there is some kind of defile setup. It's probably most likely the 1/2 into the 6/6, the 1/3 into the 1/2, then defile. There's a Blast Crystal Potion. This is a wonky Warlock.
This is a wonky
A
warlock.
wonky Warlock, Racy.
It is indeed a wonky warlock, but I think it is going to do a real good job at defeating any type of slower deck. Like the mirror match. I feel like you just play so much threat density that there's no way that you're going to run out.
It's also a good testament to Big Druid, because you run 2 Nethers and a Blast Crystal. It's just interesting to think of how do they ever get through.
I don't know.
I believe Pavel forgot to swing with the other Void Lord for 1 damage face.
I also think you can do Barnes first, so you can guaranteed get a Void Lord, or so you can have a chance of getting a Void Lord.
Well, I think that turn could have been played a little bit better for the reason that I think Pavel missed 1 damage, but I can't remember. I wasn't paying too close attention, even though I'm casting this game. But I also think that he didn't need to trade the Lackey in, because I believe the way it added up to a Defile that would clear the whole board. Pavel's Warlock deck is just straight hate.
Yeah, it has a lot of tech cards in it, and I mean, he's made it this far, so it's doing well for him. And this turn, he has a really easy decision. You either want to play Siphon Soul or some type of Blast Crystal Shadow Bolt play, or you could just drop Lich King. And I think anything you do here is fine.
But which one is the one that wins him the game most often?
Siphon Soul is also an option too.
I kind of like the Siphon Soul.
I think any of them win him the game at this point. Edwin's hand is very...
Oh, unless Swashbuckler has something to say with it about it.
Doom, that's away. Oh.
That's a
He has one half of the combo.
the 2-mana Doom play.
Yeah, dude. One half of the combo. You're just missing the other one.
I like this opting to Bone Mare the Swashbuckler, just to kind of distribute the stats as well as possible.
Smart.
There is Blast Crystal Shadow Bolt face. There's Nether into Gul'dan.
Nether's just.
I think Pavel just has this game, and I think HotMEOWTH was kind of expecting that. HotMEOWTH said HotMEOWTH had a great opener, and I think he was like, oh, if I can cheese this win out, that's just great for me. But I kind of expect to lose this game.
Yeah, definitely. And now, I mean, Pavel's just picking his poison. What does he want to do to beat Edwin?
Yeah, I agree. And he goes for the Nether. I think that's a safe play.
Yeah, and I mean, Celsi deckhand charging in, that's not bad, but then you kind of. I mean, that's your turn. You get a 1-mana card.
And
that's it.
The Gul'dan's going to come down next turn and just kind of seal the deal.
Yeah, this game, Edwin's probably just going to concede once Gul'dan comes down.
Probably. I don't see. Maybe he's going to try and fish for some more information. I guess there's no reason not to, but this Gul'dan is just going to be juicy.
I mean, you have one turn. I don't think Pavel actually even needs to play anything else for him to win this game. Like, there's no information to fish for. Pavel's just going to kill him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is just the game. So, it is now 1-1. HotMEOWTH is going to go ahead and counter Q. I believe he's going to go ahead and counter Q the Druid. He might opt for the Mage, but I believe it's going to be the Druid. Just try and get that free win in there.
Yeah, the Druid deck is usually very, very strong against the Warlock deck, but if for some reason Edwin thinks that Pavel's Warlock deck has so many threats that it can somehow combat infinite big green men, then maybe he goes for Mage and just tries to kill him. But
well, we also saw, I believe, less
Druid.
healing in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Druid.
In that Warlock deck than most Warlock decks, but he is going to counter Q the Druid. He does have a pretty decent opening hand. And by pretty decent, I mean 2 ramp cards, Malfurion, and a Branching Paths. He's looking to see what he wants to mulligan. Pavel just instant mulligan and said, I'm not having any of this business. And that's a Barnes.
That's 3 games in a row.
That's a Barnes.
This is how you become the world champion.
Well, I mean, I think
there
was a whole lot more to that, but that certainly helps.
That helps. It helps. And Cobalt Librarian comes down on 1. I like it. But I think Pavel's going to like this Barnes a whole lot more.
One thing I also like is that Pavel is BMing HotMEOWTH right now by eating in the middle of their set.
Edwin probably didn't have breakfast. He's probably like, I'm so hungry. And he's just over
if
here
Edwin
eating.
wanted to, he could just reach across, right?
And grab Pavel's food.
Yeah.
I would not dare do that to Pavel.
I wouldn't do that to anybody, but
I mean, I would probably do it to like you or something, but
well, thanks, Ray. I'm glad I see where I fit in this situation.
But Pavel, I'd be afraid. I feel like he'd come into our hotel room at night and just like do something.
Oh my god. All right, so the Tale of Terrible Tragedies is a possessed lackey.
Goodness.
That's a terrible tragedy.
Yeah, I mean, this is how Pavel can win this game, is if he just does things like this.
And Edwin he's just going to keep ramping up. I even think with this really fast start, though, however, it's still fine for HotMEOWTH for the reason that he's just... Jade Druid just has that inevitability factor, whereas the Warlock deck can't really apply. Like, this is the most pressure I've seen a Warlock deck apply in a while.
Yeah, and it's partly due to the Barnes just hitting the Possessed Lackey. There's a lot of targets that are bad.
And there comes the Void Lord.
Gotta love it, man.
Void Daddy has hit the board. I repeat, Void Daddy has hit the board.
Oh boy. That is not good for Edwin. But he has stall. I mean, he really only needs to... He needs to start making Jades, man.
As Malfurion the Pestilent is actually pretty problematic for Pavel, because just having that hero down on turn 5 and being able to choose what kind of effects Edwin wants to go with here is just pretty powerful. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the taunts just to try and soak up as much damage as possible, but maybe Edwin feels as if he needs to get these poisonous spiders on the board.
No way, you just go with the taunts.
Edwin felt like he wanted the poisonous spiders. And, you know, I kind of don't mind this, because if Edwin wants to, he can just go ahead and hero power up. If his opponent wants to try and clear the board, I mean, Defile clears off a lot of things because of the spell damage. So I don't mind this, because it's one of the easier ways to try and get through the Void Lord. Now, I don't know how effective it's going to be, seeing that Pavel runs Drain Soul and Shadow Bolt in his Warlock, but, you know, I like the thought of it.
I think that this is very opposite of what you want to be doing in
this
matchup. I think that you want to be stalling until your medium/small green men become very big green men.
What about your little green spiders?
And your little green spiders are not going to be stalling you much health. Like, they're just going to die to a Hellfire or to...
I will say, though, however, once this board is dealt with, how else does Pavel put pressure onto HotMEOWTH? There's not many ways.
On turn 10, and Sucky does a lot of damage.
Well, yeah, but turn 10 for Pavel is still 4 turns out. And this UI is going to come down. And UI is just such a beautiful card.
Yeah. Know what else is a beautiful card? Arcane Tyrant.
Yeah.
That is a 0 mana 4/4. That's a good card.
It's also really good with Ultimate Infestation, because your odds of drawing it are extremely high. So it just kind of makes UI a little bit better. And a lot of times you have to get cards out of your hand when you UI, and this Arcane Tyrant just makes it so convenient and easy to do that.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to note is the fact that HotMEOWTH drew Fandral Staghelm, which means once he draws Jade Idols, he doesn't have to just choose whether to summon or shuffle. He can just do both at the same time, which is one of the best things you can be doing as Jade Druid when you're in a position where you just need to go off.
And in this particular matchup, it's also really good if Edwin can get it in a way where he plays his other Jade cards respectively first, like the Behemoth and the Aya Blackpaw, and then eventually gets to a game state where there's not many cards in the deck. He can go Fandral, Jade Idol, Nourish, Jade Idol, Jade Idol. That's a pretty powerful turn. And the one thing going for Pavel is the fact that he does run the double Twisting Nether. However, even double Twisting Nether sometimes isn't enough to get through all of the Jades.
Yeah, and it looks like Edwin picked up Jade
the other
Spirit.
Jade. I know, that is very powerful for Edwin. I like just the Aya Blackpaw and the Jade Spirit. Just get the Jade train rolling. These...
Choo-choo.
Oh my god.
I said choo-choo, Edwin. Come on.
Is it too late to find a co-caster?
What? I thought we were hopping on the Jade train.
Yes, but you don't...
Woohoo! Nice.
Okay.
We're
on the
hopping
Jade
on the
train
Jade
right
train,
now.
baby.
I like this. I like playing the Aya Blackpaw over the Behemoth for the reason that you're not really too concerned about taking too much damage from the Warlock. I mean, I will say, though, Edwin is at a lower life total than most of the times in this matchup, but the Warlock really doesn't have Burst, especially because he knows it's not the Q block, so he's not worried about any Doomguard combos. He's more or less worried about trying to put as much stats on the board as possible. That way he can finally get to this Void Lord, but Blood Reaver Gul'dan and N'Zoth will say no to that.
Yeah, and Pavel, I mean, he doesn't have a really clear if he wants to try to deal with the minions. I would say he's most likely just going to go face, play Defile and Spellstone maybe, or just Defile. I mean, Defile doesn't clear the 5/5 unless he wants to hit in the Cabal Lackey. But then you're taking damage on whatever you pull off Cabal Lackey, which might be a little bit scary.
Something he doesn't want to do, yeah.
Nope, it looks like he goes for it. And I think this is just going to be a Defile here. Right.
Yep, and I mean, that's looking pretty good for Pavel right now. He cleaned up the entire Jade board. The one thing, however, like I was saying earlier, that just always comes back to this matchup is the fact that Pavel cannot really put pressure on the Jade Druid. This is like the most pressure he's going to do, and if he did not have, let's say, the Blood Reaver Gul'dan or an Azoth in his hand right now, then in Edwin's mind, in HotMEOWTH's mind, if he can answer both of these Void Lords, then he may feel as if he's in a really good spot. And I don't know how I feel about this. He opts to not play one of the Jade Behemoths this turn, trying to look for something, but what is that something?
I don't know.
Did he just want to try and clean up this Void Lord as quickly as possible? I'm a little curious by this play.
I'm not understanding this at all, honestly. Jade Behemoth just seems strictly better there. I mean, your opponent has to trade into the taunts, which is a big deal in my opinion.
And it's a 5/5.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking 5 damage. That's a lot.
Maybe Edwin felt as if he wanted to get the Spreading Plague live. So he'd clean up one of the Void Lords, clean up the other one the next turn. Maybe that's it.
Kuhn is a pretty big draw here, but I don't even know if he's going to play it.
It's tough to say. You get 1 less 1/5. We'll see. We'll see. There's still the potential of Behemoth because there's not really a great way that Pavel gets through it. But now I think it's going to be the Spreading Plague for the reason that the Arcane Tyrant was picked up. And I think that's just really strong. On top of, this is going to be the best Spreading Plague probably ever gets. Bear in mind the Gul'dan or the N'Zoth. And I think one thing Edwin might have been considering is, one thing Edwin runs is the Branching Paths. And he might have been considering, hey, look, if I can get Spreading Plague and Branching Paths together, that combo is extremely deadly.
That's true. That's true. I didn't even really think of that. That actually could be what he was setting up for there, was that combo.
Because look, if he gets the Branching Paths, and there's no way Pavel ever Twisting Nethers this board state. Maybe he Hellfires it, but then he just pushes so much damage.
I don't know, as Pavel, I don't think you mind Twisting Nethering a board like that. Because
I don't know if you can afford to.
I'm not sure.
Because
there's the Branching Paths.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I think he's gonna take draw 1 and then plus attack on him. Maybe he takes plus attack twice. I think I'd take draw for one of them.
You could. I think he might even be considering armor at this point.
You think so?
Yeah.
I guess drawing 1 is weaker for the reason that Pavel has him in kind of an awkward spot with his life total, and he doesn't want to draw because he has the UI.
I think you definitely go face here.
Yeah, I like going face.
I don't see a reason to bump into that at all.
He might have been thinking about some weird Defile play, but I don't think he's worried about that.
Now, HotMEOWTH can try to make a comeback onto the board because he can Pavel can nether here, or he could just trade in the Lackey and play Gul'dan, because he does have double Void Lords dead right now.
Yeah, double Void Daddy. So, the one thing interesting about this is if Pavel chooses to nether this board, and then HotMEOWTH makes a reasonable Jade board, he's not necessarily forced to nether again, but I don't think Pavel wants to play Gul'dan into some kind of board state, because that's just makes it suboptimal. So it's going to be interesting to see what Pavel decides to go with here, and whether he decides to even tap, because he can Hellfire this board state. That's a potential play, but then the 5/4 is left up. He's taken 3. Maybe he could Spellstone the 5/4, but it feels like he's using removal that he doesn't want to use.
Yeah, and that tap to me indicates a Twisting Nether.
Oh, now that he picked this up, he has to think whether he wants to play that in Hellfire or Twisting Nether. And I like playing this and Hellfiring.
Yeah, I like it. And let's see if he has another mid. Okay, he only plays the Void Lords for demons.
Refreshing. Probably going to go ahead and play a Jade Behemoth and just Hero Power. Oh, he's going for the UI.
I actually like this a lot more.
You like this more?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he thinks the Jade Behemoth route is really slow, but with this route, you're putting pressure on your opponent, forcing them to deal with the board, and you find your Jade Idols, which is really what you're looking for.
I see what you're saying. Definitely. What is that? Oh, he's just gonna go ahead and play Gul'dan into it. This is definitely interesting. It's gonna be weird to see how this game pans out because this is such a wall to go through. But the one thing going for HotMEOWTH right now is the fact that he just has so much. He's about to just have so much power, especially with his branching paths.
This is hard because the branching paths, you might want to use it for armor too, on some level. Like
I don't think he needs to.
Like, I don't think you necessarily even need to use branching paths this turn. I think you can hold it for a turn.
Because I believe Pavel's Warlock has not been seen yet. So, Edwin might not know, or HotMEOWTH might not know that N'Zoth is in this Warlock. So he might just branching paths this turn for a bunch of attack, or maybe he wants to put it on the back burner.
I like armoring up and playing shuffle.
You like shuffling one?
Yeah.
I can see that.
I definitely want to be shuffling one this turn. Maybe even shuffling two. This game's going long. It's reasonable to shuffle two at this point as well. You have Nourish in your hand.
Yeah, and there's only 2 cards left in the deck.
Like, it's a consideration. I'm not sure what's right or wrong, but I would definitely consider shuffling two.
There's still another Nourish in the deck, you're right. So it looks like HotMEOWTH has 5 cards left, 3 of those being Jade Idols, 1 of those being Nourish, and the other one being... I'm not sure. I know it's not the second Jade Blossom. Can you pinpoint what it is?
No, it doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out.
What if we never figure it out?
Then we never figure it out.
I feel like it's some kind of...
I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what he puts in his decks.
You should know what's in his deck.
I should.
You played the exact same list as it. 1 card difference.
Exactly. That could have been the 1 card. I know it wasn't, but it could have been.
And even Pavel opting not to draw with this Mortal Coil, saying, hey, look, I'm about to go to Fatigue. This is not looking good for me.
This branching paths is looking real nice, but it might not even come down. We might just see Jade Behemoth.
No, I think he's just going to go Jade Behemoth. Jade Blossom, Jade Idol? Or Jade Spirit, yeah.
I like Jade Spirit.
I like Jade Spirit, yeah. No, just kind of playing Jades at this point. Because although Pavel has access to N'Zoth, and it's going to bring back 4 Void Lords most likely, unless it brings back... I guess it has to bring back 4 Void Lords, right?
Yeah.
Because 2 lackeys.
Yep.
So what is Edwin opting for here?
He could branching paths, I guess. But...
You think that's what he's looking into, is playing one of the branching paths?
Okay. I mean, maybe he just wants to play both.
Oh, it looks like he's going in for the branching paths. I think he wants to make sure that each one of these scarabs cleans up some kind of Voidwalker. And I wouldn't be surprised to see draw a card or gain 6 armor for the other one.
Yeah, I like draw a card here because
I do as well.
You really want to shuffle that last Jade Idol.
And then drawing a card kind of guarantees you have a Jade Idol for the next turn.
Or actually, there might be 2 in the deck because I think he only drew 1 natural.
No, there's 1 left in the deck because he drew 1 naturally for turn. Okay. The other 2 cards are the card we're not sure about and the other Nourish. So he definitely still has 2 Nourishes left, which is going to be really good for him at this stage of the game. And there we see the other Nourish. Wouldn't be surprised just to see Jade Behemoth, Jade Blossom. Shuffle, yep. Maybe even play it. Actually, I don't mind playing it. Because Edwin might not know that there's 2 Nethers in this deck. So playing it puts on so much pressure. And he still has 1 Jade Idol left, so he's not worried about losing.
Okay.
The only issue is if he doesn't draw the Jade Idol for his next turn, he can't go Shuffle Nourish. He would have to wait a turn before he could go Shuffle Nourish.
I really would like to see a shuffle there.
You think so?
I would have liked to see a shuffle
well,
there.
in maybe in Edwin's mind, he doesn't realize there's a second Nether, so it's better to go about this route. So he ends up drawing the Jade Idol, which is really strong.
That was his best draw. I mean, obviously he's gonna make 2 Jades this turn.
Shuffle 3.
Shuffle 3.
Draw 3. Shuffle 3. Play 2.
No.
Wrath was the leather card.
Okay. Yeah, and then
I like this.
Armor up or deal damage to the face. mean, I'm fine with either one.
I think armor up, but I'm not. That's a really close decision. I'm not sure. But this N'Zoth is gonna provide so much stall.
That's a lot of stuff. But these Void Lords do only bring back one, or get one Void Walker.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, is a pretty big deal.
But I mean, it's still, these Jades have to go through everything, and that's.
I mean, I think that there's a chance they can go the distance. The Jade Behemoth is going to come down this turn, most like. Whoa! Really?
No, I think.
No taunt. I like it. All right, we're making big green men.
Yeah, I think Edwin kind of has to go for this.
All right. I like it.
He's debating whether or not he wants to armor or play the other Jade. He's probably counting up damage, thinking, what do I die to? And maybe he feels like he's worried about something.
I mean, you die to Hellfire. You die to any damage in that scenario. This is really bad for him now.
Yes.
I think Edwin loses. I think that this Onslaught is too much.
Well, it's also the fact that
yeah, he had
Pavel has
the hero power, but he
Siphon Soul and Blast Crystal.
Yeah, Edwin's done.
Yeah.
Edwin loses.
And that's so unfortunate, because this is the matchup that Edwin kind of wanted to hit.
I mean, Pavel's start was insane, right? He had Barnes into Lackey.
Yes, the start was incredible.
And, I mean, both starts were actually really good.
Yes.
But the Jade Idols didn't come down till way later. I feel like Edwin played double UI.
And it's also the fact that Pavel plays N'Zoth. Pavel plays an extremely greedy list.
Yeah, if that N'Zoth wasn't there, I mean, there'd be no way he could win, right? Like, it would just be over.
And I think, yeah, Edwin's just dead. There's not much he can do about this.
Nope.
Which is unfortunate, but I think it was just the way Pavel's deck was built.
Yeah, it's very greedy, and he also got an aggressive start, which is pretty rare in my opinion. When you play greedier decks, you tend to lose more of the time to just drawing all of your high-end curve cards and not having any early game to interact with your opponent. But in that game, he had the early game, and then to follow it up, he also had the insane late game.
Yeah, I agree. No, it was definitely interesting. I think that's a little unfortunate for HotMEOWTH that he ended up losing that matchup. He does, however, have the Mage, and I believe Pavel has the Warlock and Rogue left. So it's gonna come. I believe the way this deck is built, the Mage is gonna win because there's no Mistress of Mixtures in Pavel's list. The only source of heal he has is the Siphon Soul and the
Spellstone and Drain Life.
The Spellstone and Drain Life, which isn't that much against Mage. He doesn't have Dark Pact, and he doesn't have any other kind of outside source of healing.
All right, let's see if Pavel can drop Barnes for the fourth game in a row? Oh, man.
I believe it's the fourth game in a row.
He drew it with the Hunter. And now he drew it. No Barnes. This is the first time we haven't seen Barnes in the opener.
It's the real question. Let's have some real talk right now. Is there every way you tempo a 2-1?
You
play an abusive sergeant?
No, because you have guaranteed secrets.
You do, and you also have the Lackey Valet combo.
Yeah, I mean there's
good answer, Ray. I was quizzing you.
Oh boy, this is actually super strong for HotMEOWTH now. If he plays the Arcane Explosion, Pavel has a chance to proc it before Lackey.
If he decides to go with the...
Oh, he's doing it. No way, he does not do it.
And I like pushing this face. Yeah, I like
Woo!
it. Edwin understands.
Baby.
He is an aggressive player. He is a quote-unquote gamer. And I like this.
All right, let's see if the Tar Creeper comes down. Or pass happens.
Oh, no, he's going to go for the Hellfire. He realizes with the coin. Which, honestly, isn't the worst thing in the world for Edwin. Because he can just go Valet Apprentice and just do so much damage. This is insane. And the thing is, Pavel doesn't want to just play the Tar Creeper.
I mean, he can't play the Tar Creeper. He has to save that for the Lackey.
Exactly.
But he is gaining 5 health off these Spellstones. I think there's a chance he just stabilizes because the runes are going to kill off the Lackey.
Potentially. Depends on what comes off this Primordial Glyph.
Ooh,
Another
that's huge.
Fireball.
No, Potion of Polymorph.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Which one goes off first? How does it work? Maybe Explosive Runes goes off first, and then it polymorphs.
Oh, okay, no. Edwin just has guaranteed lethal then. This
yeah,
is way
because it
better.
deals 5, yeah.
Actually, wait.
Wait.
No, he doesn't. Oh, man. So I think you play a...
Apprentice, Runes, Ping Face.
Yeah.
I like that. Because then Pavel's going to try and play around Counterspell. And then Pavel's not going to be expecting the 12 damage on turn 7.
I don't know which one, how that interaction would work. That's interesting.
I believe Pavel's going to start off the turn with a Mortal Coil just to see what it is. And then when he sees it, he's going to Mortal Coil again and then probably play the healing. However, if Pavel does not play the healing and he plays the Tar Creeper, which I don't think he would ever play the Tar Creeper.
Oh wait, if he does, if he trades, he's dead.
Oh my gosh, is Pavel not going to play the healing? I feel like you have to at this point. Is he playing the Tar Creeper? That's just game.
I think he's baiting us.
No!
Oh my god, he wasn't baiting us!
Why did he want that? Why did he feel he needed that product to go off? Everyone's just going to take this game.
Maybe he's being greedy. He wanted to get the 7 health. Or 6 health.
I saw Pavel's face. He was like, wait a minute. He looked over. He looked from the side of the computer. He's looking at Edwin like, what did you just do to me?
To be fair, Fireball was the only card that Edwin could have gotten because he wasn't even on 8 mana.
Yes.
So double Fireball wasn't an option mana-wise. You'd have to get that exactly off of the glyph.
I will say, though, however, it was a snap pick from Edwin.
Yeah, but that doesn't really...
And another question is, what are you holding on to the Spellstone for? What kind of minion? Because the minion's never hitting face. Because you have Voidlord on your board.
The only thing I can think of is that you are holding on to it to try to get it to upgrade again to gain
No,
more
it was
life,
full.
but...
It was 7.
Oh, it was 7?
Yes.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was only 4. Or 6,
No,
or
it was
whatever.
the highest it could be.
Okay, I don't understand then.
Yeah, I was a little curious as to that greedy play.
And this hand from HotMEOWTH could actually just get him there if he can find a secret.
I think he really needs a secret right now. Sorcerer's Apprentice is not the greatest card in this matchup, and Pavel's going to go ahead and just play out his minion. I think Pavel's playing a little too fast. You saw him go for the Firefly immediately, and then he just sat back and started thinking about it.
I mean, I think both hands are really strong, but Edwin has the Corridor Creeper, and if he can find the secret, that's a lot of damage.
Ooh, Flame Geyser is pretty good.
It is?
I think it is.
No, it is.
Oh, okay. you were looking at me like it is. And this Kieran Tor Explosive Runes, that's just such a deadly combo.
You know it's not a deadly combo. Double Shadow Step without Keleseth.
No, I know, right? But I will say though, with the double Shadow Step,
He can find a lot of mage spells.
he has the man from Gilneas in his hand, and that is a lot of gas.
Yeah, I mean, there once was.
There once was a man. I believe he was from Gilneas, right?
Oh, that's a huge
Oh, that was a good draw.
For Pavel. I know he's going to test for Counterspell with the coin.
Realize it's not Counterspell. So he trade all of his minions in so he doesn't take any face damage.
Oh, wait, do you think he's going to play the Corridor Creeper? There's no way he plays Corridor Creeper into
No,
this.
he knows it's Explosive Runes at this point. If he wanted to, he could play the 1/2.
Yeah, okay. He's
Take
gonna
the
play
damage.
The 1/2. Take the damage, play Corridor
And then play
Creeper.
the Corridor Creeper, yep.
I mean, that's still a decent amount of damage to the face.
It's still 4 damage to the face, however, it's...
Ooh. Okay, so Edwin can go Apprentice, Mana Worm,
Frostbolt to 5/5.
Frostbolt to 5/5, or he could go Apprentice, Corridor Creeper, Frostbolt to 5/5.
Oh, that's rough to think about.
It's
I really want to
close.
get this Mana Worm. I really would like HotMEOWTH to get this Mana Worm down, but it's hard to say. I mean, there's also Mana Worm, Corridor Creeper, Frostbolt, which
That
could
is
be
true.
better. But getting Apprentice down is also just extremely important because there's not really a great way, keep in mind, backstab to deal with the Apprentice right now.
I think we're going to see Shadow Step Gilneas, man, maybe. Or Flame Geyser, Dagger. Or you could see Dagger Celsi.
I mean, this hand is really awkward from
Yeah, I like the Geyser.
Pavel.
Whoa, he's hitting into the mana
Yeah, he's
worm.
hitting into the mana worm. I'm curious as to why this.
He wants to set it up for the South Sea kill.
That's true. Oh,
Oh wait, that would be really funny if oh, Breath of Sindragosa, and then he could play the explosive runes, and that completely
the corridor
throws
creeper.
off Pavel's plan. He just took a bajillion damage for no reason.
this is insane. This is so much pressure. I will say though, if Pavel wants to,
Oh yeah, he could just
play the Flame Elemental, but he's
Yeah.
taking 4 damage to the face and not answering the 5/5.
Right. He's gonna be at 9, and then he's only playing Man from Gilneas. Actually, no, he
No,
can't
he
even
can't.
do. He
That's
can't even
the
do
thing.
that. His turn is just so thrown off now.
This might just be Edwin's game when it was looking like Pavel was in a decent spot.
Oh,
he's gonna risk it for the biscuit.
He will get no biscuit, sir. No biscuit for you. You're gonna go home hungry tonight.
Oh my gosh, and he's just gonna take so much damage.
That's basically
It's
game.
basically just game.
Edwin can literally ping him
And
for
he's
4 times in a row.
Oh, yep.
Yep, that's it. That's
The
gonna be
only
game.
thing that saves Pavel here is Babbling Book.
And he doesn't have Swashbuckler to get it, so
It
I
has
don't
to
know how
be Flame
he's...
Elemental into Man from Gilneas into Swashbuckler.
No, he's already played both.
He's already played. That's right.
He
Your
got Flame
book won't save you now, Pavel.
Where's your book now?
Where's your book now? I believe he's just gonna go for the Faceless.
Yeah.
Play
yeah.
the Faceless, hopefully get a
Get a
taunt,
taunt.
trade, hopefully there's no burn, and then maybe he can stabilize with the Bone Mare, but we can see in the hand that HotMEOWTH has this game in a nail-biting series.
Yeah.
Is there anything off that Faceless?
No, there's not. There's a...
Racy, give me something off the Faceless that saves Pavel here.
I mean, there's no cards that stop Edwin from playing that Firelands portal.
Wait, Doomed Apprentice.
That's
But it doesn't answer the 5/5.
I mean, sure, Doomed Apprentice costs 3, right?
Yes.
So I guess that saves him, but you can still ping for 3 turns, and I'm pretty sure that's going to win you the game.
Well, he also has a 5/5 on the board that he can't answer. That also hits him in the face.
Yeah, Pavel's dead.
What's in the box?
It is a
Stitch Tracker. And that is game. HotMEOWTH is going to take this a 3-2, advancing to the winners finals for his group,
Yeah.
Group B.
That was an intense series there. It came down to the wire, and honestly, I was surprised that Edwin's Druid just got kind of destroyed by Pavel's Warlock there. It was so many